My friend Rachel bought a cosplay online, and to no surprise, it looked nothing like the character or product photo.
This looks majestic, okay? It's long, it's flowy, it has one slit.
And after asking for a refund, they just immediately sent her a second option, which is not that much better either. But at least there's a lining, so let's transform this second one instead into something she'd be proud to wear to her next con. I'm getting rid of the ugly trim at the bottom and the flared skirt because it makes the dress look lopsided and just not realistic at all. I had her wear the dress inside out and tuck in the bust and the side seams of the bodice to hug her curves more. Then I can mark along the pins and true up the markings on the table. To access the inside of the dress, we are seam ripping the trim off and then seam ripping the slit open. Now I can transfer the markings I made on the lining layer onto the outside layer on the inside of the dress where you can see the seam allowance and sew those changes. We originally weren't planning to raise the slit, but a higher slit gave the illusion of longer legs. Plus, it helped the dress drape a lot better when she strikes boa's pose. So we raised the slit about 4 inches total. Here's what the alterations look like so far, and this was when we realized the flare skirt had to go. I ended up taking a huge chunk from the bottom of the skirt, and since it's just a straight seam, I taught Rachel how to sew for the first time. And here's what the new skirt looks like. Once the skirt was finalized, I sewed the new fur trim to the bottom. I noticed the neckline on the left is gaping, which is very noticeable when she turns to the side. So I took apart the neckline and collar to take away that space from the shoulder seam, and then sewed it all back together. The last details I wanted to add was a faux front opening that cheap pals have to make the dress more authentic, and gold knotted buttons. To create the faux crossover, I took a scrap piece of fabric from the dress and sewed it like you would a bias tape along the marked line. Lastly, I marked the placement of the gold buttons and sewed them down. The most important step that will elevate any garment is a good press and steaming all those wrinkles out. And I'm finished! Here is the final transformation.